Hi everyone and welcome back to today's morning report on Wednesday the 6th of May with me, Rich Perry, market analyst at Hand Tech Markets. Let's move on to Eurodollar now, and the Eurodollar chart it had a decent rally yesterday, and that as I said earlier, was on the back of that worse than expected US trade data, but it interestingly on the technical basis it formed support basically just above that key support, which was the breakout levels from March and April. So between 1035 and 1050, there's some really pretty strong breakouts, and that pretty much formed a support yesterday. 1065 was the reaction low, and that sort of maintained that bullish recovery outlook, and certainly the momentum indicators suggest that. RSI continues to remain quite strong up in the high 60s. Stochastics sort of still trading around the sort of above the 80 level, and MACD lines also above neutral as well. So this momentum continues to improve, and it's interesting that we've seen this. Now, what we need today is, I think, a break back above that reaction high at 1289, because I think that would suggest then we're going to continue to move higher towards a test of that 1450 resistance that was the late February highs. And I think that is your next level that you need to look out for. If you see a breakout above 1289, I think that's where the euro could easily be going towards. But you need the breakout first. Are we going to get it? Well, what we have got, if I zoom in slightly here, is this the resistance, as I said, around 1289, and that was also a bearish key one-day reversal on that. So that induced the correction, and that certainly is now the resistance in place. Now, what we have got is these momentum indicators. Now, I'm not entirely convinced by these momentum indicators on the hourly chart. Just this RSI just beginning to roll over around 70, interestingly. I mean, that is positive on the stochastics. Although I think what you need to do is you need to see the stochastics still pulling higher above 80, and at the moment it's sort of trading around 80. Although the MACD lines are fairly positive, you do have a slight bearish divergence on the MACD histogram, which is what might again, that sort of lower high that you've got on the MACD histogram, that sort of is the negative divergence that we've got with this higher high that we've had today. So that is something you need to bear in mind. So I'm not saying that this is going to be breaking out yet. It's not really showing too much. I mean, you sort of had this break higher in the early European session. If I zoom in here, this break higher in the early European session is now sort of consolidated for the last couple of hours. And that consolidation is obviously coming underneath that 1289 resistance. The reaction high so far 1270. So are we going to see this breakout? It may well come on data this afternoon. You may well see, if, say for example, the ADP number was disappointing, then you could well see that that breakout. But at the moment, it looks like it's just stalling for time a little bit, seeing what the consolidation is going to bring. But it has held, as I said, nicely above the resistance, above that key breakout support that we saw. Again, that's 1100, and then also you've got the breakout support around 1050 as well. So you've held nicely within that breakout. So it's sort of consolidating within this breakout, and I think if you don't get that breakout above 1289, you might start to see a bit of a consolidation range forming. Obviously, you've got about 200 or so pips worth of consolidation range there for the euro to play, and it may well develop into that, especially if, say for example, you look at this RSI, for example, back towards 30, falling over at 70, so that may well begin to see a bit of a range develop. But we'll wait and see how this one goes. But certainly if it doesn't break out above 1290 today, or certainly close above 1290, then you might well see that range start to develop. But it's interesting because we've also sort of developed, we're also moving towards that payroll data on Friday, so that might also help to drive a bit of a consolidation. So I wish you good luck in your trading on euro today, and I will speak to you later.